Yeah. Since 2019, we've been building mindset and purpose for real estate agents, entrepreneurs, leaders, people becoming more than they were yesterday. Monday through Friday, we rise. We win the morning, we win the mind. Faith over fear, pressure into purpose, confidence built through the work. Something good is gonna happen to me. Something good is gonna happen to me. I don't need all the answers, I just need belief. Becoming who I'm called to be, making impact bigger than me. God first, doubt steps back. When it gets heavy, we figure it out. You're not here by accident, you're part of the story. Stepping strong, stepping faith. Let's get your mindset right.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And top of the morning to you, and welcome to another Friday of Figure It Out Friday Authors Edition. I'm so happy to have everybody join me today. And I am in the country in South Texas. So I see we have Sarah there, and Blake, and Brock, and Chet, and Don, and John Hart, and Josh, and Kelly, Olivia, Katrina. Welcome. Hi, Rika, all the way from the Philippines, and Sherry, and Stephanie, and Yessie. Boy, we have quite a audience of people today. Well, I am Michelle Wright. I'm your podcast host today, along with Brock Zeven. And I am an author, an entrepreneur. I'm CEO of a nonprofit organization in Rowlett called Keep Rowlett Beautiful. And I believe everyone has a story. And I like sharing stories with people, and I encourage people to write their stories. So we have somebody on background here. And
Damn, it was someone interested in the Denver house again.
Okay. And
Jackie, you need to mute.
Thank you. Thank you. And I just wanted to indicate that we have an incredible guest today. And I wanted to share with you the importance of, I call it divine appointments, because you never know who you're going to meet and how your paths are going to cross, even possibly years after. And also the importance of follow-up. I know Brock is very keen on follow-up and how to do things. And it's important no matter what kind of business or activity you're in, even with family. So 3 years ago, while I was relaunching my book, I went to another book signing at a restaurant not too far from my house. And I met this man. His name is Jason Head, and he has a remarkable story. So I would like to invite Jason. Jason, good morning. Welcome to Figure It Out Friday Authors Edition. I think you may have to come off mute if you can.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's
I'm
better.
sorry. I was trying to figure out if I'm even seen on here, but thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
We see you, and that's all part of Figure It Out Friday, Jason.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So, Jason, you have quite an incredible story of overcoming, and if you weren't in front of us right now, many people wouldn't believe your story. Do you want to just give a little bit of background on how you came in? He is right now a successful landscaper in the area of the Rockwall Rowlett Dallas area and incredible businessman. So go ahead, Jason.
Okay, thank you very much. How you doing, guys? Yeah, so my name is Jason Head. I'm 52 years old. I struggled with drug addiction for 30 plus years. I eventually spent 15 years, 8 months in Texas prisons. It started as when I was 14 years old, started smoking marijuana, crack cocaine, heroin, all this and that. And yeah, my freshman year in high school, I got arrested for 13 felonies. And I was in and out of juveniles and youth villages and psychiatric hospitals and whatnot. And it just kept on and on. At the age of 23, I had a stroke, overdose, couldn't move my body, the left side of my body for, 5 days. And it just kept on and it escalated to robbing drug houses. And I eventually got shot 4 times with a 40 caliber and once with a 12 gauge shotgun. Collapsed my lungs. I was in ICU for 20 something days, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, so this last time was my fifth. Can you guys hear me?
You're doing great.
Okay. Yeah, so this last time I went to prison for the fifth time for a robbery charge. And it was in there. I was still getting high. I got caught with drugs on a maximum security prison unit in South Texas, and I got shipped to another unit in Beaumont, Texas, where I kept getting high. And I was in a medium custody, so I was locked down 21 hours a day for a year straight. And I was in there. It was Christmas Eve, 2015, and I'm walking around my cell. I'm high on K2 and methamphetamines, which there's a lot of K2 deaths going on right now in Texas prisons and and we ran out of drugs and I was wanting more and the next drop wasn't going to come till after New Year's. And I was just thinking to myself, man, what am I doing? And I just thought to myself, with the common denominator and everything that's bad that's happened in my life up until I was at that time I was 43 years old, was drugs. And I was like, you know what, I'm just tired. I don't man it was God, man. It was God. And just it was, I don't know, man. I was in there. I felt a lot of guilt from my mom, always never giving up on me, man, and still sending me money for drugs and everything else. She didn't know that, but she was. And I was just like, you know what, man, I'm sick and tired of this life. And I was like, you know what, at that time I had spent over, 15 or 16 of my Christmases incarcerated along with every other holiday. And then the next day was Christmas. And I said, you know what, man, uh, tomorrow's Christmas Day. I'm gonna give myself the best Christmas present ever, and that's sobriety. And I got on my knees and asked God, I need help, brother, because I never. That's my whole life ever since I was 14, 15 years old, all the way up to 40 something years old, 43 years old, and that day, yeah, Christmas Day, 2015 in Beaumont, Texas. Um, I asked God to help me, man, and it's crazy. If I would have known then what I know now, and how am I looking at my life of how it is, I never would have believed it. And so, once that happened, I wrote parole. I said, listen, at that time I have got two-year set offs. In other words, I came up for parole. They gave me a 2-year set off, and then they gave me another one. And at that time, I was like, you know what? I've never reached out for help, and y'all have never offered it. I said, but everything you see on that paper, every charge that I've ever caught has been indirectly because of my drug addiction. And they gave me parole. They sent me to a FI5 program, and I didn't get out till 3 years later. I got out in 2000. I got out February 15th of 2018, and they put me on a GPS monitor for 16 months, right? Just because of my history and everything. And during that time, I couldn't get a job at Planet Fitness in Rockwell. I couldn't get a job at Ashley Furniture driving a forklift. My plan was to start a landscaping business, but I couldn't do it being on this GPS monitor, being mobile and everything. And so, yeah, February 24th of 2019, I was in a Narcotics Anonymous meeting, and my parole officer called me and said, you know what, you're off. You can do whatever you want. And so the next day I went and got my DBA as Heads Up Lawn Care. And my name is Jason Head. And of course it changed to Heads Up Landscaping. But yeah, it's just like I'm living a life today I never would have dreamed of, man. It's crazy. My life used to be in a negative way. It's crazy that today in a positive way, you know. And so I started with a lawnmower. My mom and my dad helped me out with a truck, and my fiance bought me a lawnmower, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was just like, I'm a landscaper, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and you know, I made a little money and bought me a one of the. I googled what's the nicest landscape truck out there, and I spent all my money on the wrap, and it looked really nice. And I'm driving around Rockwall and Heath in this truck that looks like I've been in business like 25, 30 years, and didn't have a clue what I was doing. And I figured it out. I figured it out, man. And it's one of them things, you get out of it what you put into it, man. And I'm very passionate about what I do, and it's now it's good, man. I never, like I said, I never dreamed I would be living the life I live today, and so I'm a big advocate on saying no to dope. And if I can do it, you can do it. And it's never too late to start. I didn't start my new life till I was 46 years old, and I'm 52 now. I'm sorry, 45 years old. I started mowing lawns at 45 years old. I don't mow lawns no more. It's just more landscape design and new installs and whatnot. But yeah, man, it's been a wild ride, and I
Yeah.
tend to believe that everything happened for a reason, and now I don't think I would be as grateful today as if I didn't go through all that, spending all that time incarcerated and just in negative situations, and but today it's full blast, man, and I'm just
Yeah.
very thankful.
Yeah. So I have a question, Jason. In your book, you mentioned that you read. Was that important to you, or did
It,
you know that you were building on something that was going to help you later on when you were doing all this reading?
I didn't know at the time, right? I just seen a lot of convicts in there that had been locked up a long time. There were some very smart individuals in there, and and plus, one of the things I just wanted to get out of prison, and so it was by accident that I got into reading. Right, it's just because I enjoyed getting out of there in my mind,
Right.
right,
Right.
into stories, and but at the same time, what I was also doing is trying to correct my vocabulary from being on the streets all the time and talking like, you know what I'm saying, and all this, and just street, hood, like it sounded like I didn't have an education whatsoever. And it was just but anyways, yeah, so I didn't know, but I did say when I got out, if I ever had the chance that I would write a book, and that's eventually what happened, and that's where I met you at. But no, I don't have time to read anymore. um but I enjoyed it in there. I really did, yeah.
Yeah. So when you were in there, you had a dream of having a special car. What was that car?
Yeah, one of them was a Lamborghini, and yeah, I got that one. And yeah, cars are my downfall. I actually just bought a car out of California. I really, I mean, it's a nice one, man. It's in the garage now. I go out there 3 times a day to look at it, but it's one of them things that's just, I robbed myself of, being, having all that stuff when I was. I'm like a 52-year-old, 16-year-old now, and so all my dreams are, I'm making them happen now. So it's cool.
Yeah, and you have an opportunity to spend some time with your kids now too, um, that you didn't have earlier.
Yeah, well, to be completely honest, I wasn't a part of their life, right? And so I've got a 35 and 34-year-old now, and I reached out to them when I got out of prison, and one of them didn't want to have nothing to do with me, which I totally understood. But it's crazy because I've done so much business in the area that some of my customers just told me, "Hey, your son came by here and said, or your son said, hey, that's my dad's job," but I still haven't talked to him. And my daughter, she was hooked on cocaine when I got out. And so I got her back into Narcotics Anonymous in church. And then she went back with her other boyfriend and whatnot. So it's just, I'm still not a part of their lives. I'm still not a
Mhm.
part of their lives. And, what I mean, I guess in God's timing, it'll happen. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but you continue to feed into the lives of other people and encourage other people, and it is just really an astounding story. And I'm so privileged to have gotten to meet you. And tell me a little bit about your neighbor.
Oh yeah, yeah. So well, I've got really a lot of good neighbors, and actually Kendra across the street, she's a good woman, and yeah, I met. She actually came over here yesterday. Was like, hey, I heard you was going to be on the show, and so yeah. So I'm blessed to have some really good neighbors, and she's really cool, man, and yeah, it's a trip, man, how my life is today. So
Yeah, it's a small world. For you,
hello,
think we lost her.
Looks
I
like
don't know. She froze. But
okay,
Jason, this is Brock, and man, I'm still like, when you said he had a shotgun and got shot 4 times, I'm like, man, this is truly God's way of, you helping other people now, and I've been very blessed. I don't have a story like that, but I'm also a recovering alcoholic. And my life my life started at 38. So you and I are we're the late bloomers over here
yeah,
of getting our shit together in life. And
yeah.
um so I want to dive a little bit deeper into your mind just for a little bit here of the process of like that Christmas Eve. Like I remember
Mhm.
my moment where I was just like, kind of like enough is enough. Like, what else am I going to do the rest of like, is this what I'm going to do? I was in a hotel like in Virginia, laying on the floor and with a bottle of vodka in my hand, and I'm like, what am I doing? And so like when you get to that Christmas Eve moment, like, are you having like flashes? Are you having like what was that moment for you that you feel like that really? Because I mean, it seems like you just cold turkey it. Like, F it, I'm done, and I'm changing my life. And then, like, could you walk us through a little bit of that thought process? Because somebody here today might be struggling with something inside of them that they're just like, how do I get out of this freaking rat race? How do I get out of this
Yeah.
hellhole? Man, what was that for you?
Man, it was another one of those moments that was just I can just the only way I know how to describe it is crazy, man. But it was just kind of like when Forrest Gump stopped running. He's just like enough is enough, man. Once you hurt yourself so much and you burn yourself, man, and finally you figure out, man, what am I doing? And I was just like, I was tired of being in prison, right? And I was like, man, again, I was just like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I only got one time on this earth, and it was just an epiphany. It was God. It was a combination of all that stuff, man. And it's just like I was sick and tired of hurting myself. I was sick and tired of putting myself in positions that I didn't like. And the common denominator for me was drug addiction because drugs changed me and made me do other stuff under the influence of a controlling substance, just like alcohol, right? And there were
Mm,
so many of my friends that were in there that was doing capital life sentences. They've been locked up, a long time that made one bad decision under the influence of a controlling substance. Everything that I've ever done to hurt myself or my family was done under the influence of a controlling substance. And I was like, you know what? I'm fixing to see what my life can do without it, And so, uh, yeah, and after that moment, I used to, talk to myself. I'd be like, I'm fixing to see what this old cowboy can do, you know,
right.
and I did. I got out, and like I said, I mean, when I'm, yeah. So it was that's, I'll never forget it, man.
Yeah.
It was just. I'm
It's a
done.
moment inside of our heads that just like you know exactly, like I said, I know exactly where mine was. And that's why I was just like, I know he knows. Like there's this moment in our lives. And many of you here today, you might have had your moment. Your moment might be happening to you. I think Ann said it here, like you're never too late. Like I always hear about the Colonel Sanders and his story. Like you're never too late to start over. You're never too late for your next dream. And I love hearing you go to your garage 3 times a day to
Yeah,
go see your dream. And
yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that because you work so hard to get
yeah,
to that point, and people don't realize the shit show and everything that you've been through to be able
yeah,
to
man.
do that. So one is congratulations to you and hats
Thank you.
off to you. And my next question for you, like what are you trying to figure out today? Like, what does that look like? I mean, hell,
Yeah.
you've overcome so much and you've done so
Yeah.
much, but like when you have this energy and you're just like, there is no limiting belief, there is no lid on me now. Like, what does that look like for you? Like, what are you trying to figure out today?
Peace. Peace, brother. So, I've had a, and thank, one thing that I've learned is money and materialistic things don't buy you happiness, right? And don't get me wrong, they make my life a lot easier. But I'm very thankful for everything that God has blessed me with my business. But it's a fast pace for me, and so I'm just balls to the wall, 7 days a week, right? And so I found success, but also now I'm trying to find that peace, right? I'm trying to figure out um, the peace of my life, and when to turn it off, right? Because I don't know, I mean, like I'm on year 7, right, of my business, and I'm just getting started in my life, but I'm 52 years old, and so I'm trying to learn to find this certain peace, right? And because I don't really ever have time to do anything, right? And um, but yeah. But I'm very thankful. I remember last time I complained about it. God took all my work away, but but now I'm just trying to, I just trying to figure out a little piece. And don't get me wrong, it's a good feeling to have a lot of work, and very, and it's just I think it's just going to continue to multiply. I got to learn, for me, how to put people in place. It's hard. I need to replace myself in doing a lot of stuff because it's just me and a bunch of guys that don't speak no English, right? And so my business is not going to run without them. And so we're still small, but um, it's good, man. So I'm learning a lot of stuff, and so just because I just so last Monday I started reading a chapter of Proverbs, and I got back in the gym. I got a gym in my garage and everything, and so I don't have no outlet. I don't have no hobbies. I don't have anything like that. So, just going back to prison when I used to wake up at 3:30 in the morning, I do 300 push-ups. I read a page of the Bible, right? So now I'm reading a chapter. Of the Bible, and then I'm getting back in the gym. And so I've got to have a release valve, right?
Hmm.
And that's what it is. And so I'm learning stress, how to knock the stress off of me, because my life is good today, and I don't want to have a heart attack at next year. Yeah.
So
And, yeah,
so
and that's a
true.
good problem to have. Thank you, Father God, for my good problems. But I'm learning how to deal with stress and yeah.
So first and foremost, thank you for sharing. And yeah, in the business of scaling and leveraging and how to do that and what that looks like. Um, I One of the questions I had is I find this for myself that like to me, I'm an addict. And then I get to choose the addiction's not going to go away. Like it's
Hmm.
not like let me just go put
Yeah.
this in the cupboard over here. Like oh,
Yeah.
here it is in the closet. I'm just going to leave it in there. Like it's a constant working on yourself. Just like I have to go to the gym because that's my release, and then I do my devotions and prayers and everything else. A very similar routine to you have, except I don't do 300 push-ups. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So when you when I realize that sometimes like I make myself so busy that I don't let the devil distract me. And sometimes I have to go face that demon because at the same time, like I get a little nervous that like, what happens if I'm not busy? What am I going to do? How am I going to go through this process? Do you like when you're growing through this? You said year 7, you said
Yes, sir. Hmm.
year 7. Like, do you have times in your life where sometimes you get a little nervous and scared, like,
Oh
well, what
man.
happens if I do slow down? What happens if
Yeah.
this takes place? Like, how do
Yeah.
you handle like the emotions of what you're going through today? Knowing what you know now, you have a different plan, a different way of handling stress, a different way of handling anxiety. And at some point that peace is going to happen to you. Do you have any like thoughts on how you're handling this type of stuff?
But it's funny you say that, brother, because we just read Proverbs 10 this morning, right? And and to be completely honest, when I used to read a page of the Bible, I'd forget what it said because I'm so ADD, right?
Right.
But and then you know what I do today? I'll read it and then I ask Chat GTP, hey, how can I relate this to my life, right? But
Wow.
I do worry. I have a worry of failure, and I mean, I've got a lot of bills, right? And when you got a lot of, you accumulated a lot of stuff, all this, fancy cars, and there's also bills that come with it, and stress, and so. But in Proverbs 10 today, it said, don't even worry about something that's out of your control, right? So for me, I'm putting in my mind, you know what, worst case scenario, anything happens, you know what, I'm still clean, I'm still sober, and that's it. And I got my health, right? So anything after that, it is what it is. But honestly, it's yeah, so I mean, I don't want to stress and I don't want to worry, and that's where I'm at today. And I'm not going to. I'm gonna speak that into existence, I mean, at the end of
Yep.
the day, my worst day out here is better than my best day in there, right?
I always say
So
that to people too. Like, like I have a saying, poor is a mindset, broke is a season. And I've been broke twice in my life. And I like, people are like, how do you handle it? What do you do? Like, how do you keep going? I'm like, listen, I got a roof over my head. I got electricity. I got a car. Like, no matter how broke I am, maybe I have to like, I can't go and do this or do this. Like, it's not as bad as what my life was back then. It's not as bad as me laying on the ground and trying to find my next bottle. It's not as bad as me trying to like do something where I couldn't even show my face out in public and almost losing my kids. Like it's not that bad. And I
yeah,
think the word perspective is such a huge word, and your perspective on life and what it is, it's just like it's truly remarkable because
thank you.
you know, many people don't get a second chance. Many people, they fall into that web, into that trap.
Mm,
And on here, all like you, wherever you're at, whatever point in your life, you have an opportunity today. If there's anything that if you don't take away from Jason, that you can start brand new, whatever it is, whatever goal, whatever dream, whatever far fetched, crazy idea. Maybe you want to call him and say, what kind of car do you got, man? Because I want to get a car like that too. You might want to do whatever craziness that you got in your life. And Jason, as we conclude and get there, like, what's the one thing you want to leave us? All the shit, everything you've been through, as many prisons and life and ups and downs as you've had. What's the one thing you would love to leave us with today?
it's never too late to start over. And you can do anything that you put your mind to, and you're gonna get out of life what you put into it. I know that's more than one,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I could go on and on, man. But just like for me, man, like when I started this business, not having a clue what I was doing, so many people was like, "Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to do this?" But no matter what you do, just give it all you got, right? Stick to that one thing and then figure it out, right? I got so many youngsters today that reach out to me like, "Man, how you do it?" They see all the cars and house and view and all this stuff. And they're like, man, how you do it? How you do it? I was like, man, just figure it out. Right. And I do give them a little advice. I'm not going to give them too much. Right. And, but yeah, man, just give it all you got. And just remember, man, like, don't let anybody ever tell you, man, you can't do something,
Mm,
or it's too late. Right.
amen.
Cause man, I mean, yeah.
What one of the greatest lines in the Pursuit of Happiness movie is when Will Smith tells his son, "Don't let anybody ever tell you you can't do something." And that's so true, like what you just said right there. Just got me chill bumps because, when you start talking to the wrong wrong set of ears, they'll make you think like you're crazy. And
Yeah.
that's okay. That's okay to be crazy. It's okay to
Yeah.
be a nut. It's okay to be like, you know what? I'm going to do whatever it is that I want to do, that God has for me to do, and get
Man.
out of my way.
1,000%. Do not,
Mm,
yeah. Negativity, get away from me, and don't let anybody put a governor on your goals or what's going to.
mm.
I'm talking about what you can. Yeah, just like
I love
yeah.
that. Don't put a governor on your goals. Man, that was good right there. I like that
Yeah, don't
line.
put a good. Yeah, so and that's for real
Yeah.
because and some and it's sad to say, but some people. I mean, I ain't gonna say it, but some people don't want to see you doing better than them,
Oh
right?
yeah,
So
those are the
they're gonna,
haters.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I
They're
figured that
jealous.
out, man. It's just like,
Yeah.
man. But you know what? And that just, you know what? That even gives me more motivation. That's just fuel for my fire, right? I said,
Amen.
okay. So many people, when I started this thing, everybody was like, man, why you want to start a landscaping company, blah, 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 blah. And, but it's been good, man. So for
Yeah.
anybody out there that's thinking about, starting something new, I say go for it, man. Go for it. Because the only way you're going to know, you know what? Even if mine fails today, tomorrow, I would have never known if I didn't start it. But it's been good, man. It's been good. So
Amen,
just
man.
think positive, 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 and dream big. And
I
so,
love it. I love it,
Yeah.
man. Guys,
Hey,
put a 5 in
hey,
the chat. Michelle's back here too. Michelle, I'll let you close us out here. But guys, put a 5. Put some hearts in the chat on this story that we had here today. Like, I just had goosebumps over here. Bryce even came over here. He was so pumped up.
Can I?
well, thank you, Jason. It's a privilege to have met you 3 years ago and following up now. And we just are so excited. Brock, I'm in the middle of nowhere and I have no idea what happened, but we're quite a team and you picked it up and ran with it. Thank you so much. And I look forward to Monday, Motivational Monday. And we'll check and see you.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate y'all. Guys, have a great
thank you
weekend.
guys.
Thank you so much. God bless y'all. Be
God
safe,
bless you.
be happy. Have a good one. We'll catch up with everybody on Monday at 8:15. We'll be back. Rebecca Black is coming back to the show all on Monday. So tell everybody, have a great weekend.
Awesome.
See ya.